Scanning. Identity authorized. Welcome to the Secret Superhero Club Podcast Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 199 of the Animation Station podcast. My name is Josh, and today I am joined by a very special guest, Sam Bragg. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, Josh. This is gonna be great.
Oh, you have enthusiasm, which is misplaced with this show. So we'll see how it goes. But Sam, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of tell our wonderful audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I live in Montana. I guess we talked about that before this.
Wyoming.
Not Wyoming.
Jackson Hole is not in Montana. It is, in fact, in Wyoming.
Yes, I live in Montana and in a very small town. Let's see. I have two boys. One is 5 and the other is 2. And they're wonderful and crazy all at once. And I love to draw. And for the longest time, I wanted to do concept art, but I moved more towards comics because with comics, you get to write your own story and create your own worlds and your own characters. You get to concept basically everything. So I moved to webcomics because I thought that would be a better way to share my ideas.
Mm-hmm. Instead of just having to do what somebody else does,
exactly.
You have control of your entire universe.
Yes, exactly. You get to play in your own world so completely, no one else has to interrupt it. I guess I'm a bit of a control freak in that way.
Oh, aren't we all though? I mean, no one's just like, yeah, do whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a premier animation podcast, I have a question. So you have 2 boys, 5 and 2. I'm gonna just, shot in the dark, see if I know what they're into right now, cartoon wise.
Okay.
All right. So 5 and 2. I mean, Avi, I want to say Paw Patrol.
Nope.
Dang. Okay. If it's not Paw Patrol, is it PJ Masks?
Yep.
Okay, we got PJ Masks. How about DuckTales? Have we started DuckTales yet, or is that?
I tried. They didn't get into it.
I know from the little 5-year-old that I am acquainted with. He really likes True and the Magical Kingdom.
Oh yes, my 5-year-old adores True. What? That's his. Yeah.
Okay, so 5-year-olds in True. So that's perfect because our 200th episode, which is next week. We're gonna have little Remy and his mom Brittany on from our sister podcast Hilt Radio, and we're gonna do True in the Magical Kingdom.
Oh, fun!
So we're calling that episode True 100.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so yeah, apparently, if that's right, guys. If you're listening and you have a 5-year-old, if you know a 5-year-old, True, just type in True on Netflix. It'll pop up. There's like 37 seasons of it.
And she teaches real. I love that she teaches real problem solving a lot more than other animations.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like Dora, like that same, like she's going to use a specific thing, but she gets 3 specific things, which is pretty cool. And she does the zip, zap, zoo, I choose you deal, which is very Pokemon, which I appreciated watching it.
Yes.
And then there's Z, who lives in a tree, who's like my dude, my Zen master guy. He's my homie. And then others.
My favorite's the cat, Bartleby.
Bartleby the cat. What's that princess's name that nobody likes?
I can't remember.
Yeah, apparently she's the worst.
Yeah, I don't like her.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for her. I was just like, the poor girl. She's the only blonde in this entire world. It's gotta be rough for her, man. She's got a dog. Of all the animals, the dog is the only one that doesn't talk.
Yep.
So, I mean, she's got that going against her. I mean, yeah, poor girl. But anyway, so Sam, enough about True. So let's kind of just talk about your main webtoon. The one that I know that is on webcomic that is on Webtoon is Hooves of Death.
Right. Yeah.
And Wags, is that just like your social media?
Yeah, that's my social media one. I mean, I
Okay.
have it on Webtoon, but that's only because people were complaining that they couldn't find it in the right order. And so I put it on there and so they can check it out, but it's not updated. So yeah, stick with Instagram, which is where I post it weekly. So
It wasn't. I'm confused about that because I mean, like that's how I read Wags. I just went to your Insta and I just read it, and it was very. It's like, well, you start with the first one,
that's what I
and
thought.
then the
See,
next
but
one.
I had so many people complaining to me in my DMs, I can't figure this out. So I was like, I'll put it on Webtoon, I guess.
Oh, jeez, that's
So
weird.
yeah.
So yeah, so we've got Hooves of Death. So which one came first? Was it Hooves or was it Wags?
Oh, Wags,
Wags.
actually. Yeah, I've been doing that one for I think since 2017, but they were kind of different back then. They didn't have the watercolor style backgrounds that they do now. They
Mm-hmm.
were just honestly kind of more crude humor because I wanted it to be like dogs are silly with what they do with their habits of how they don't care about poo or rolling in dead things and stuff like that. And I just kind of wanted it to be a relatable dogs do the worst and most horrible things kind of comic. And then it evolved from that into more of a relationships and caring about
Relationships
each
and
other. Yeah.
possible love story, maybe
Yes, possible love
developing.
story.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, because honestly that's what I want to write is romance, but I thought that I should start with comedy back in 2017 because I was like everybody makes these comics, funny, haha comics. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's the way to go, right? Obviously, I'm not super funny because it didn't really work out for me. So I moved it more in a let's make this more about bonds and relationships and caring about one another and more like that, how dogs can be loyal and even have romance relationships type things like Lady and the Tramp kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
So we have our main characters. We've got Honey and Buck.
Yeah.
Are they there? There's a third one early that I have no idea. Is it a little poodle?
Yeah, that's Yuri.
Yuri. Okay.
She's probably going to be a little bit more phased out because I want to focus mostly on Buck, Honey, and Cliff, the coyote. So, but Buck and Honey live
Scoundrel.
in, yes, the scoundrel. Buck and Honey live in the same house, and their owner is a hairdresser slash photographer, but she's really not in the story. She's just kind of a hand once in a while that drops a food dish or something like that. But I have a picture of her, I think, even on my Instagram,
Yeah.
just so that you can know what she looks like. But
You can put a face to the hand.
yes, a face to the hand. But mostly it's about Buck and Honey and their relationship as almost a brother-sister thing. And then Cliff and Honey as their new budding possible romance. So
Because he's a corgi, and is she a
Doberman.
Doberman? Yeah, I was thinking, was she a Pinscher? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See, yeah. So yeah, definitely brother and sister because that would be a really weird litter.
Yes, it would.
So for Wags, like, do you have a Buck and a Honey that you kind of drew
I
inspiration
have a
from?
corgi.
Okay.
I do have a corgi. Her name's Pepper. So not a boy corgi, but she's out back right now because she'll bark if we're talking on no, she hates, like, even when I'm on the phone, she's like, who are you talking to? Bark, 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 bark. So, but yeah, she's great. And she was my inspiration mostly for the horrible things that dogs do because I've had her do horrible things where, she'll roll in something that's absolutely foul and you're just like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, I had a corgi blue heeler mix. Who she was corgi size. She had the mismatched eyes like the blue heeler, so she had like
Oh,
one
cute.
blue and one brown, and then she had blue heeler spots. And her name was Scout. Her full name was Jean Louise, but she went by Scout. But yeah, so yeah, I completely understand. She would get into all of the trouble
Oh yeah.
because
Well,
she
and
was small to the ground, so she could go
exactly.
into things and
Exactly.
yeah.
And we have a cat and they have an interesting relationship. They like each other a lot, but my dog thinks that the litter box is a treasure chest and that's just wonderful that she likes to get in there. And it's right there, right at her level, so she knows where it is. And yeah, corgis are really hard to keep out of things because they're super low to the ground. And then they get muddy really easy too.
It was one of those, like, whenever it rained, it was like, I know I have to let you out to go to the restroom. And I know you're gonna go out and you're gonna be covered in everything underneath.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna be wet.
We're gonna have to bathe you.
And then,
every time.
And then, you'll bathe her, and then it'll be like, you're gonna have to go again. It's gonna it's just gonna repeat this cycle.
Yep.
Man. So you said earlier that you wanted to do more like concept art and everything like that. So, like, what were some of your inspirations, when you were getting into art? Like, is that something that you knew that you wanted to do something art-wise when you were a kid, or did it just kind of grow through time?
It kind of grew through time. Honestly, I wanted to do, like, be a zookeeper or something when I was a kid. And art didn't really happen until, like, my last year of high school. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll go into animation. So then I went to school for, like, the 3D animation stuff. Mm-hmm. And that just wasn't very fun for me. I didn't really like I can do it. I know how to do the polygon building and the maps, mapping their textures, and I'm pretty rusty. It's been 10 years, but I do remember how to do most of it. And I even learned how to animate a bit in Maya, but it just wasn't what I liked. I liked the drawing. So when I graduated, I just tried to do whatever I could freelance wise with drawing, and I ended up doing quite a few t-shirt designs they used to be called We Love Fine, but now they're For Fans by Fans. And I also designed some vinyl toys for them too. It was My Little Pony vinyl toys that you could have, like, they were collectibles, like little chibis and stuff. I think the name I went by on that website though was Sajira, so it was different then. And from doing the t-shirts, I got kind of bored. And so I started just doing, like, pet portraits and stuff, and that evolved a little bit more into wags. And then from there, I started to write some stories because I was like, maybe I'll write a novel. And the first one I really got written down was Hooves of Death. And I had it and held on to it. And I didn't use it until I saw that Webtoon was doing a contest to win $80,000, and I was like, I'll try that.
Yeah, it's like, $80,000. I have a story. I could do it. Nah, I'm gonna wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually found out about it when it was already halfway over, like, the time frame you had to finish it, and so I had to, like, cram 6 episodes into 6 weeks, and I was like, I'm going to die. But I made it. And I submitted it, and I didn't win, but I got honorable mention. And after that, they offered to have me finish my comic, and they would pay me to do it. And I was like, yes, let's go. So.
See, that's the dream. It's like, if you can, like, even if you don't win, because Webtoon's really good about that. Like, if you can get featured, then it's like, yeah, you done okay. Like, that means they're paying you for it, and, you're doing good.
Yeah.
Oh man. So growing up, like, what were you really into growing up? Like, was there any specific, like, was there a movie? Was there,
like cartoons?
Well, I mean, it could be whatever. I mean, because that's the thing. When we started this show in 2016, we painted ourselves into a corner with only making it an animation podcast, because it's like, we watch so much more than just animation. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's like, honestly, if there was anything that you were, like, really big into, I mean, like, if you were big into, Pokemon, that's great. If you were, for whatever reason, really into Starship Troopers, that's even better. So.
Well, I'm only 30. I was born in 1990, so only stuff after that, mostly. I watched a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah, we're very close. I was 88, so yeah, we're in that same range.
Okay, Star Wars was a big thing for me. The animated Batman series I loved to death. Gargoyles also was one of my other favorites. And then into my more teenage years, it was like Avatar and then the new Star Wars. I know everyone didn't like the prequels, but I loved them. I thought they added.
You're preaching to the choir here. Episode 1 was the first one that I saw in theaters, and I was blown away.
I know, that's me too. I was like 10 when it came out, and I was like, that was amazing. I thought it was so great, and I think they really build on the Star Wars universe. Like, we wouldn't have the new ones that we have now without those prequels, because there wouldn't be like Coruscant and all of those other places that you didn't really even address in the first three. So
yeah, like we stayed on what, 3 planets?
Yeah,
like, in the original trilogy, and then like episode 1, it's like they go to like 4 planets like to start. So it's like, no, they did very well.
Yes, I loved them. And then let's see, what else was I really into? I think I said Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Phenomenal series.
I loved that one. I wasn't so much a fan of Korra. It was just a little too different. I didn't love like the steampunk-esque. I was like, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
So I never finished that one.
I left after like the beginning of season 2-ish.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, I'm done. Season 1 was good. I don't gotta continue it.
Yeah, I didn't get past season 1 either. I loved the Last Airbender series with Aang. Yeah. But and then let's see, I did watch some My Little Pony. I think I only went up to like season 4 when that came out. And then what other movies do I adore? I do like the Iron Man and Marvel stuff. To me, they're more like popcorn or something. Like they aren't super deep movies, but they're fun. I like James Cameron Avatar. Again, not a super deep movie, but fun. It's kind of a Pocahontas story that we've heard of quite a few times, but I guess I just really like the creature creation in it, probably. Oh, and I loved Jurassic Park growing up. I saw those super early and adored them. And then that one Godzilla movie that came out towards the end of the 90s. It was like it had
the one with Broderick?
Yes, Broderick.
Oh my gosh, you like that movie?
I love that
movie.
movie.
My gosh, you're the only other person that likes the 1999 Godzilla movie.
I love that movie. I thought it was great.
I know,
I watched it endlessly.
It's got Matthew Broderick as Dr. Nick Tatopoulos. I almost butchered his name, just like they do throughout the film as a gag.
Yeah.
We need more fish. He's the worm guy. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, you've made my evening right there. You like Godzilla.
Oh, I'm a B movie lover. My husband makes fun of me. Like the Dracula Untold. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes.
I adored it. Van Helsing. I adored it. He's like, you love B movies. I'm like, yes.
Van Helsing's good though.
I know. I thought it was great, but a lot of people didn't like it, and I was like, really? I guess I just like super fantasy movies, and that's when people are like, I'm not into this, and I'm like, but it's fun. Look, there's werewolves and vampires fighting each other. Why can't you enjoy this?
Yeah, like when I was growing up, I was big into space. It was Star Trek for me. I was a Star Trek kid.
I did watch some Star Trek,
but I liked Star Wars. Like, were they the same? Oh no. There were rules in one, and then the other was just a space opera, which was cool to just watch it as that, because growing up, it's like until like that the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars little thing came out. Oh,
that one was gorgeous.
Oh, it was so good. Until those came out, there was no Star Wars series. So it's like I had to feel my Star Trek filled that sci-fi hole for me. But no, yeah, like I know all about like the B movies and everything, like Lost in Space.
Oh, I love that one too.
Again, I still think Starship Troopers is the best movie ever made. It's a perfect movie. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know if I've ever seen that. You don't have to watch it. It's not good, but like for me, like growing up, I was just like, this is a great, fantastic movie. Jurassic Park it still holds up, even when you watch it today. It still looks
really real. It's crazy.
Except, but then since it has been out for 25 years now, everyone's like, oh, look, you can see where the guy's hand goes there, or there's a mic in the boom, like there's a a
Oh,
boom in one of the scenes, and you're like,
don't ruin it.
yeah, yeah. I'll ruin it.
Yeah.
I'll ruin it later.
Okay.
We won't ruin it for the fans. So yeah, like that's perfect because like it sounds like you and me were basically on the same wavelength growing up. Real quick, who's your favorite character in Avatar?
Zuko.
Zuko. Oh man, see, I'm a Sokka boy.
No, I love Zuko. I'm all about those characters who are bad, then they turn good. Like
Okay.
Vegeta, best, I just love bad boy turns good. It's fun.
See, like I no Vegeta. You see, I'm more of like I like the funny characters. Like that's why I liked Yamcha, and then he just died and died and died, and you're like, sorry, Yamcha.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
Jeez, man. Okay, let's talk about Hooves of Death.
Okay.
Because that's the big one that I just finished. And you just finished season 1, correct?
I did. Yep, 50 episodes.
So what was your inspiration for Hooves of Death? Because honestly, when you we can talk about it. Spoiler alert, I guess. Like if you're listening to this, stop, pause, go read 50 episodes of Hooves of Death. You can do it in a sitting. I did. So just scroll. It's on Webtoon. The format's really nice. It's easy for you to go through, and you just go straight on to the next one. So I guess spoilers going out for Hooves of Death. What kind of gave you the idea for this? Because you do something really special in here that I thought was brilliant.
I like to listen to post-apocalyptic audiobooks about like zombie apocalypses. I adore them. And I also have a fondness for unicorns. So, like I said, I did watch My Little Pony a little bit, but
Favorite pony?
My favorite pony?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really like any of the main 6. I guess Luna.
All right.
I guess if I had to pick one out of the 6, it'd be Rarity.
Okay. At least it's not the worst one.
Yeah, I don't like Rainbow Dash or Pinkie Pie or Twilight Sparkle. Twilight Sparkle, I just ugh. Anyway, but
sorry, Tara Strong. You were amazing.
Yeah,
it was a bad character.
she was. But it's just I don't like how her character evolved. But anyway, so yeah, always loved unicorns. Always liked zombie stuff, and I just thought, wouldn't it be funny if in this post-apocalyptic universe, mythical creatures had to deal with the zombies too? Like they always existed, but we didn't really know about them till after this happened because now they're having to deal with the same fallout and there are billions of humans walking around trying to eat brains, And I thought, wouldn't that be funny to have a unicorn trying to figure out how to like stop the zombies so that life could go back to the way it was. I didn't even have like the horsemen involved at all when I first started the idea. It was just, that would be it was like an image almost. I was like, that's a funny image, unicorns fighting zombies,
I mean, they have this perfect accessory right for stabbing.
Yep, exactly. And then I also give them grenades and weapons, and I thought that was fun too, because I also watched MASH growing up. A lot of people don't like that for kids. You
watched the 4077?
I did. I loved MASH.
See, I am now thinking that we are very similar, you and I. Who's your favorite character in MASH?
Hawkeye.
Of course. It's like, okay, so who'd you like better? Were you a BJ or a Trapper?
I liked BJ.
Yeah. Trapper was kind of, he was there sometime, but I think BJ
he was more of an accessory.
Yeah, he was.
BJ had depth.
Yes, he was grounded and everything. He had the family. Yeah, okay, that's good. Oh, man, okay. Everybody, go watch MASH. It used to be on UPN back in the day. I don't think UPN's a channel anymore.
I think it was on Hulu.
Is it on Hulu? Oh,
I think it's on Hulu.
My friends next door have the box set, so I just borrow it from them when I need when I have a mash hankering. So, anyway, so yeah, so they have grenades. Are you gonna real quick? Can you draw like the swamp, but have unicorns and stuff? Because that would be meatball surgeon unicorns would be pretty dope.
That would be fun.
That would be amazing. Sorry, go ahead. I was interrupting.
Oh no, but so what else do you want me to tell you about it?
I mean, yeah, we'll kind of go. Let's talk about what you decided to do with the Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Oh, okay. Well, as I was going along, I was like, well, there has to be a reason for the zombies, and I was like, well, I could do it as a government experiment or something like that. But those just seemed kind of dull, and like there wasn't a way to be able to fix it. And so I wanted to be like, well, what if there's a magical reason that the zombies are happening? And then I had to figure out what would cause magical zombie happenings. And so I was like, oh, well, the Four Horsemen. And so I know that usually people want Pestilence to be Conquest, but I chose to have him be Pestilence so that he could be the one in charge of the zombies, because the zombies is a plague, it's a disease. So he caused that to happen. The other two, Famine and War, already did their jobs, and then Pestilence decided to just kind of put it on pause and never finish, because like the apocalypse is supposed to kind of be a renewing of the earth after all the bad things happen, and it's not happening. So they're kind of in like this terrible limbo where they can never have anything renewed.
Yeah. And then Death is MIA.
Yeah, and Death is gone. He doesn't want to. We don't know exactly what's going on, but he hasn't finished the apocalypse like he should, and it's his job to kind of make the undead dead, so that it would end all the zombies wandering around and eating brains. And we've gotten to the point that there are very few humans left, and it's mostly mythological beings now. And now, as you've read, the mythological beings are starting to be zombified too. So I thought that would be really a fun twist of things to kind of have, not only is this affecting humans, but it's affecting the mythological world as well.
Yeah,
so
I did like what you did with the unicorns, where like the unicorns can't die unless they're killed.
Right, exactly. They're immortal, essentially, like I think like a Tolkien elf, where they don't die of old age, or they don't die of an illness, or they don't die of something like that. Their innate healing powers keep them alive. But if you kill them, they're gonna die.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, you bite them too much. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
Things happen. If they go the way of a Commander Sprinkles, then yeah, it's
Yeah.
Can't come back from that.
No.
But no, yeah, I really like that whole bit of like they just put the apocalypse on hold and no one can die because Death was just like, I'll come back later.
Yeah.
That was just like, because I can't tell you how many times I watched Good Omens, and then I'm listening to the audiobook, so Four Horsemen and everything like that. And it's just like, okay, so I think that may have been the reason why like I really got into it, because of everything that I was already listening to and watching, and then this I was like, oh well, this just fits so perfectly in that niche.
I've never watched Good Omens. I should check it out.
Yeah, it's great. David Tennant's amazing. So is Martin Sheen, but it's mainly David Tennant because it's David Tennant. But yeah, let's kind of talk about our characters in Hooves. We have Glitter, who is our main unicorn. Then we have Small Girl Kate.
Yep.
Who, towards the end, she is now a vampire.
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, that was great too. Like making a nice little like cult coven.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
I don't know if you've ever heard of these books. Probably not, but they're Mercy Thompson books. There's something. They're like she's a shapeshifter, and then she deals with werewolves and stuff and vampires. And so like to me, vampires are supposed to be creepy. They're not supposed to be these like sexy things that everybody makes them out to be anymore. I'm like, they're supposed to be these mind controlling, blood sucking beasts. They're not supposed to be
glamorized
hot
and sparkly.
Yes. No, my favorite is, Dracula. You got this dark, powerful, mythical creature that feeds off of other beings. And so that's what I wanted with them, and I think I got that across.
Yeah.
They were pretty creepy. So, but yeah, and then Kate ended up being vampirized by kind of by force, because she was threatened. So, her friends were threatened.
Her friends were threatened, yeah.
Yes. And so she chose to do a blood swap, which is how I prefer to have a vampire be made, is a blood swap. Some people are like, oh, you just have to be bit. And I'm like, no, that's too easy. You have to,
then there would be just vampires everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You have to do they bite you and then you drink their blood.
Yeah.
And that's how a vampire is made. So,
go back and watch Buffy. That's how you do vampires.
Yes.
Are they pretty vampires? Yes. But
yes.
That's how vampires.
Yes. Well, I just feel like if there's more steps to it, like you said, you don't want them just wandering around everywhere. There'd be every person a vampire fed on would be a vampire.
I also like what you because you also do something, and I could be wrong, and correct me if I am, but it had to be willing.
Yes,
which I thought was great too. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, you can't just be like, I bite you, here's some blood, poof, you're a vampire. Sorry, bro. Because then it'd just be kind of like a weird system.
Again, that'd be really easy. I'm going to mind control you, drink my blood now. No, you have to be like, I want this. Like, it has to be an accepted bond, basically. So.
Man. I love that. That was great. I like how you go more into a nice mythos with that. Then you've got my boy Blaze, who's the medic.
Mm-hmm.
Who, got a thing for glitter, like you do.
Yeah.
Gets the short straw, no pun intended.
Most of the time. Yeah.
Our boy Commander Sprinkles, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got
maybe.
Oh.
Maybe
rest in peace.
Maybe
rest
in
peace.
Go
boom. Who knows? Find out in
Who knows?
season 2. And then you've got Silver.
Mm-hmm.
And Silver used to be he's pretty. We meet him about a quarter.
I think it was episode 11 or 12.
Yeah. So more than a quarter of the way. So we meet him, and he's a little bit special because he used to be War Steed, and I like that you did that as well. It's like these unicorns, these mythical beings, they are the steeds for the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Right. And Silver used to be War Steed, so by the way, he looked pretty BA when he was all red and everything. He looked pretty dope.
Thanks. I really I watched a bunch of animes and I was like, how can I make this look super cool with like magical weapons? Those last couple episodes were a struggle because I'd never really drawn like battle scenes, and I was like, how do I do this? So I watched tons of animes, and I can't even remember I think I just typed into YouTube anime fight scenes.
That's smart.
And so I would watch these YouTube fight scenes, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, look, those are cool tendril thingies, and you totally saw those. So I was like, oh, you can use tendrils, I don't know.
Yeah, I will say Dragon Ball Z did a really good job about that, of less is kind of more. Mm-hmm. It's like when they would just do that thing where it's like, and you don't see anything, you just see like streak lines and then like a little bit of those things. Like, those work very well visually because you're like, oh, they're going really, really fast and they're fighting really, really hard. So I get that, and I think you did totally fine with the fight scenes. So
good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and then we got our boy, little puppy dog Grim.
Yes.
Who he's a hellhound.
Mm-hmm. Technically he's a Grim.
He's a Grim.
We call him a hellhound, but Grims are.
He's a show that used to be on ABC.
Yes.
Sorry.
But a Grimm is kind of a omen of death. Like, they appear before you're about to die. They're a big black dog. So, yeah.
Was the idea for the collar, was that your idea, or was it something that you had read, before?
Oh, I think it was subconscious that I was like channeling Inuyasha, and I just didn't realize it until it was already there, and I was like, oh, this is just like Inuyasha's beads.
And it's just, yeah, and the first thing that Glitter does tell him to do is sit, boy, so that was
Mm-hmm.
pretty...
Well, that was an homage. I was like,
nice.
oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
So...
yeah, that's great. I love that. That's fantastic. So with our characters, how far did you know, like, in advance? Like, did you know, like, when you introduced Silver that, he wasn't going to make it past season 1?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I didn't. As it was rolling towards the end, though, I was like, well,
we need somebody.
I need a redemption kind of thing, but I also need someone to die. Because you can't watch a zombie film without people dying.
Yeah.
And you can't read a zombie book without people dying. It just doesn't work.
Exactly.
So,
Herschel's got to go at some point, guys.
Yes.
You got to lose Herschel, and that was Silver.
That was Silver. So, and in my editor, she's been pushing for me to kill people left and right. So you guys are lucky. It was just Silver. She was like, "Oh, how about we kill Barn Owl? No. Oh, well, how about we kill, Blaze? No. Oh, okay." So I've had to kind of fight a little bit with that. So
get ready for season 2, guys. If there's any new characters that get introduced,
they're going down.
They're either going down or they are the replacements for a main. So just get ready, guys.
Yes.
Glitter is going to pull a Rick and leave after 5 seasons, but then it's going to continue on.
Well, actually, right now it's probably only going to be 2 seasons.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have high enough numbers for a renew of season 3 unless we get up higher in season 2. So fingers crossed that I get a lot more readers, but right now they're slotted me only for 1 more season.
Oh.
So
we'll promo you on the show.
Oh, okay, that's
great.
on
our socials. So yeah, so hopefully we can get you some people in there, especially closer to season 2 time.
Yeah.
So
which shouldn't be too far away. I think it's going to be 3 months hiatus.
Oh, nice.
So probably not until maybe April.
Oh,
I would say. Yeah.
So are we looking at another, hopeful 50 episodes there as well?
Yes.
Okay. Sweet.
Yes, we are set for another 50 episodes.
Awesome.
So it will at least be 100 episodes.
Well, what you got to do is you got to start throwing more, romance for Glitter in there.
Yes, I know.
Maybe
That's
some romance for Grimm, maybe some romance for Kate.
Some of the weirdest things I get, people want Grimm and Glitter together. And I'm like, it's a dog and a unicorn. How do you make that work? But that's like my biggest ship right now is everybody's like, I love Grimm and Glitter. And I'm like, whoa, this wasn't even a thing, man. I didn't know you guys could come up with that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Grimm and Glitter. No, they BFF. No. Like they best friends, kind of, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe.
Especially that Grin from Grimm, at the end of the season. But no, it's Glitter and Blaze, guys. I mean, like, he's been fawning for her, since episode 1.
Yes.
Like, that side look of like, aw, shucks. You can just take whatever you want. You're gonna be gone for days? Yeah. I get, it's my boy Blaze and Glitter. Plus, I mean, like, have you ever seen, like, Glitter explode? It's awesome. Catches on fire. Anyway, no, yeah, we just gotta get more romance in there.
Yeah, I gotta work it in somehow.
Maybe bring somebody in for Barnow,
Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. They just want that sexy drama, and I'm like, you can't do that with unicorns. I don't know what you guys want. I mean, I almost prefer that I don't have just a straight up romance because I like more to my stories than just who's getting with
romance.
who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted the first 3 Harry Potter books where there's really nothing going. Like, there's just like, oh, story. And then it's like, oh, puberty happens in the Goblet of Fire, and you're like, oh
Who's
no.
snogging who all the
Yeah.
time, and you're just like, do I care?
No, not really. Yeah, it's just like, nah.
I mean, I have my romance in there as kind of a thing for the people who like romance, because they have that in like Avatar: The Last Airbender, with Aang and Katara, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, they have this cute little romance going on, and that kind of was a way side note to the rest of the story. So that's what I wanted mine to be was, oh, this is just a big side note to kind of keep people interested, but it's not really.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
what you need to do. Maybe Glitter needs to fall in love with somebody, but then they become the moon.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
That would be interesting.
And like one of the fish dies or something
It's
like
a koi fish dies, and you're like, I don't know, maybe Kate goes Avatar Kate or something. I don't know. She just gets really big, vampire-y.
So, do you think she's going to use the horn, Josh?
I would like her not to, because I mean I feel like where she is now, she's more powerful. Unless there's something that she's gonna use the horn, she's gonna not be crazy bloodthirsty, but she's still gonna keep that awesome strength and everything that she has.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a side effect like that, then I'm like, yeah, go horn. But if that's not there, then it's like, well, but then you're going back to like puny mortal girl, and I don't think she wants to go back to puny mortal girl.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're looking more towards she gets to keep some power from this.
Yeah, because honestly, to me, that makes more sense. Because it's like, I always thought that was weird whenever somebody like had like superpowers and then they got like taken
and then they
away.
go back to
Yeah, and you're like, well, why don't you just like jump off a building, because you're never gonna get that back. Like,
exactly.
What's the point? Yeah. So yeah, I if she can do that, if Blaze was like, hopefully if we ground this up and maybe you still get to keep your stuff, and then she does it, then yeah, I'm totally down for that. Because I mean, yeah, she needs to have something else, because she is just a little mortal girl.
Yes.
Who I don't believe has her bat anymore.
No.
Yeah.
She lost it, I think, with the vampires.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
When they lost like half of her stuff too. Yeah, like all that.
They lost like all their stuff after that.
And then like, yeah, there's trouble brewing with those Sasquatches, because
Yes.
Grimm did a good but did a bad.
Yeah. Yep. I
do like that he's the only one, like he can still let people pass on.
Yeah. No, he's a servant of death, and he can have people die. So he is pretty important in that way, and there aren't too many of him running around, so it's good that he did what he did for those Bigfoots. Yeah. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. But yeah, they're definitely not happy about that.
So no.
It's like, yeah, maybe we do need someone kind of tough to come in and be like, stop, Bigfoot.
Yep. And we just lost Silver, who was kind of our tough guy. Yeah. So
because I mean, Play's just kind of, I love my boy, but he kind of runs away.
Yeah, he's not the best at fights. Yeah, for sure.
Like, he's very much like, I'm gonna go scout ahead. Good luck.
Yeah. No, I want to have more of Blaze's backstory, but he's a California unicorn, and he like lived in the redwoods, like the sequoias and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And he lost like his whole herd to this like plague, and he had to go on the run, and he wound up in Yellowstone. And so after that, he's been kind of like, it's rough out there. I don't really like zombies. I don't want to have to deal with this, but he's doing it for glitter. Mm-hmm. Like, I really want to address that, hopefully in season 2. Hopefully I can fit that all in. But See, this is why I need to get enough followers so I can do a season 3, so I can make sure that everything is fully explored. And I don't have to cut it off and be like, well, I guess that's what you get, guys.
Because then she's just going to continue it on Instagram. And
I probably will.
And apparently you people don't know how to Instagram work. So
yeah,
you'd be like, I can't read it. I don't know how it works. Be like, well, you go to the date, you find the first one, and that's one. And
well, they want it to say like episode 1 so that they know where to start. And I'm like, yeah,
I just start with the first one. I mean, that's you like 9 times out of 10, that's episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like, hey, I'm drawing these things. What you think? That's usually, first bits. So yeah. But no, we hope it'll be at least, we want, 6 seasons in a movie, so.
I'd love to have it be a TV show. I have big dreams. I'm like, oh, wouldn't this be a fun TV show? Kind of like Gravity Falls or,
Starverse, The Forces of Evil.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We'll talk to, we know some people with Star. We know Adam MacArthur. We'll get him involved. We'll talk.
Okay.
I'll be like,
you guys pass it on.
Yeah. I know people here now, so I'll we'll something.
If you could just show it to a couple people.
Yeah,
they don't have
like,
to pick
hey,
it up.
What you think?
Yeah.
So if you guys know anybody who likes unicorns, likes death, likes, Grims, likes the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy, like anything, have them I don't know how that has it. Or
even Samurai Jack. I've had a lot of people say, this looks like Samurai Jack. And I'm like, well, I do love Gendy, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just have a whole episode where, like, nobody talks.
Yeah. Oh, I wish.
Glitter just doesn't say a word.
I did have one where no one talked. It was the episode, he said rest in peace. It was the episode where Grimm released the Bigfoots. And there was, the only talking he did was, like, at the end. So I want to do so many more of those, but my editor says no.
Oh, man. See, that's cool, because, like, there was a, like, way back in the day, like, in the early 90s, the Young Justice comics for DC, they did an episode where nobody talked the entire time.
Oh, that would have been sweet.
It was, so the comic is just pictures, and it's amazing. And then they did a Christmas one, where they just do the Nightmare Before Christmas, and nobody talks. It's just on the sides where it's, it usually says, like, Gotham City and blah, 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 blah. They just put, like, do all of the Night Before Christmas, except with Young Justice. There's no talking, it's just that, and it's amazing.
Oh, cool.
Like, I love, like, when things do something like that, don't make it, like, the exact same every single time, like, the same formula over and over. Marvel. I like it when they take chances and branch out and do different stuff. So yeah, like I love stuff like that. So yeah, do another one where nobody talks.
I probably will. Or just we're gonna have some.
It's just one big monologue. Like it starts at the top and it's just all text, and then like as you scroll down, then it's at the very end and it's just like Kate, and she was like, and that's what I did on Thursday, and like there you go, that was your episode.
See, that's what I like, the variety, the ability to have something different every week, because I have to do those episodes in a week time frame. But boy, they make me pretty busy. Most of season 1 was only 40 panels per episode, but I'm going to try and scoot it up to 50 this next season. So we're hoping that works out pretty well.
In between, have you thought about doing maybe like a like I know like they do like a lot of webtoon people, they do like Q&A episodes, and they do like kind of like almost like character bios for everybody. Have you thought about maybe like if not on webtoon, maybe like on Insta or something?
I might do it on Insta. I'm not sure I'm allowed to. See, because I have to run everything like past
by your
my editor.
and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least that to me, I mean, that makes sense. Excuse me. To me, that makes sense. Like, especially if you're going to have a 3-month gap, at least you can put something out like maybe once a month. Be like, here's, these 3 character bios. And then here's these 3 character bios. And then these 3. So that way, you're not just completely silent.
Well, I'm going to be doing videos while I work on the episodes. As long as I don't show too much, I'm allowed to do that. And I'm going to do concept art of future characters as long as I don't tell who they are or what's going to happen with them. I'm allowed to do that. So I could do some things like that, and they're going to be happening. It's just
thought about doing like the time lapse, like the time lapse stuff of like okay. Yeah, I always think those do really, really well. We did some with Stephen McCraney, who does Space Boy, a while ago. I think like right before his first comic when like Dark Horse published his comic. So yeah, it was like we did some time lapse stuff for him. So like he would send us like the raws and we would time lapse it and then send it out to him. So yeah, I think I love those. Like I think those always do really well. I mean, especially for me watching, because I'll just sit back and just be like, man, they're going so quick. It looks
That's
so
not
good.
how fast it goes.
Oh no, in no way. Like he would send me like 20 page, like a 20-minute thing of him just working on like a character's head, and then I'd be like, all right, it's now 45 seconds.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, you have to really cut them down. No, I just did one today and posted it on YouTube. It wasn't very good, but it was just a cat in my WAG style, because I did a giveaway and this girl won, and like I recorded it and did it above my iPad and showed my hands this time, and I was like, I don't know if I like this as much as just the screen recording, because you can like see every mistake I make that way, because my hands have to do the undo thing, and I have to like twist it and show like a lot more goes into it when they can actually see your hands, because when you're just recording your screen and you hit the undo button, it's just like a blip and it's over. But no, they had to actually like watch me hit the undo button, and I was like, oh, they see everything this way.
Well, I mean that's good too, because I mean that just means like, oh, you're not perfect. Like nobody expects you to be like, I draw everything perfectly the first time and it's wonderful. It's like,
well, I've seen some on Instagram who do that, where they record their hands and they do like they cut out all the bad parts.
It's been edited.
Like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So you guys get to watch me hit the undo button.
Well, see, honestly, I like that, because then, like, if you see somebody doing something, and then you just see them, like, hit that undo, and, like, it erases, like, a good chunk of what they were doing, and then they just, like, move the mouth, slightly, it's like, oh, okay, that actually looks cool. Because then you can kind of see, like, almost their thought process of everything, of, like, oh, okay, you know what, that actually does make more sense if they're going to be, in this light or whatever. So, yeah, I'm totally down for that. But Sam, yeah, let's hope for what do you want to, without spoilers, what do you want fans to take away from season 2? I don't know why I said that. That's a weird question. Let's Josh, cut that. Just cut that.
That's okay. The theme of season 2 is learning to be a hero. So I can give you that much. So
okay. What do you want fans to take away from Hooves of Death in general? That's a better question.
That death isn't always a bad thing. That was kind of the theme for season 1, was that sometimes death is a bit of a release, like when your dog is sick and there's, you're just hanging on to it because you're really attached to your dog, but at a certain point it's kinder to let them go. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what was supposed to be going on with Hooves of Death, is learning that while death is sad and hard, it can actually be a bit of a release. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, Sam, thank you so much for coming on. This was really fun. Let's have you on closer to season 2 so you can promo it.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be around April, so as long as everything goes well and I don't have like any major catastrophes in the next 3 months.
Oh, let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Yes.
So Sam, where can everybody find you social media wise and find Wags and Hooves of Death?
Okay, well, my Instagram is Sam Bragg Draws, but there's a period between Sam Bragg and Draws. And then my YouTube is Sam Bragg Draws, but no periods. It's just spaced. And then my Twitter is the same as my Instagram. And I do have a Tumblr, but I honestly can't remember. I think if you just type in Sam Bragg and Tumblr in Google, you'll find it, but I cannot remember it. I haven't used it in a while, so I can't remember the name of the blog.
It happens, you know.
Well, there's so many social media things that I have to keep up with, and I'm like,
a MySpace or a GeoCities or anything like that that
no,
you use? Oh, okay.
No.
AIM account.
I'm mostly on Instagram. That's the one that I take care of the most. Let's put it that way.
Oh man. And you can find Hooves of Death on Webtoon and Wags primarily on Instagram as well.
Right.
And we will put the links to all of Sam's social media. Maybe not the Tumblr, since we're we'll put all of Sam's social media and links to Hooves of Death and everything in the show notes. So all you have to do is just click on those. It'll and then go straight to the wow. You guys know how clicking works. You click on the thing, it'll launch you there. Jeez. Do that thing. I think you'll probably have to do the open in Safari, because I think it creates one of those weird not actual bubbles, not actual tabs. Mm-hmm. One of those things. So yeah, just open in Safari, all that fun stuff. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast, on Twitter at Animate Podcast. All of our episodes are available iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, and on our website, animationstationpodcast.com. Sam, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Josh.
Oh, no problem. So for the Animation Station podcast, wow. For the Animation Station Podcast, I'm Josh. I'm Sam.
And I'm Sam.
Bye,
Sorry,
everybody.
my first podcast.
No worries.